Hello to our Outfest audience. I am Lauren Holland. My pronouns are she, her, and hers, and I'm here with the filmmakers of Out Loud, which you've hopefully just watched on our Outfest digital platform. Congratulations to everyone on this incredible film. We're so glad you're here. Please introduce yourself and your role in Out Loud.
I'll go ahead and start. I'm Jill Scheinfield. My pronouns are she, her, and hers. I am a producer of the film, one of the producers, and also I recorded all the sound. I was the sound recordist.
Hi, I'm Gail Williamson. My pronouns are she, her, and hers. I am the director, one of the producers with Jill, without whom this film would never have gotten done. And I did all the camera work and most of the editing.
Hi, I'm Lindsay Deaton, and I'm the founding artistic director of the Trans Chorus of Los Angeles.
Hi, I'm Jordan Balagat. I go by she. I was the composer on the film, and I'm in the chorus.
Amazing. Well, welcome again, and thank you for your gorgeous film. Let's just get into it. I was deeply moved by seeing this group of trans folks find community in each other and create beautiful art. And Lindsay and Jordan, what was it like for you to be in community in this way and now see the completed film?
Do you want to go first, Jordan?
Sure. Yeah, I mean, joining the chorus was really wonderful to find community singing and finding other folks like myself. It's a trip down memory lane because it was 4 or 5 years ago now, but I'm still very close to pretty much everyone in the group. Yeah, I'm thankful that Jill and Gail recorded it and Lindsay started it. And yeah, it's been a really wonderful experience.
Creating community out of the ether is daunting. And, one of the things that I will treasure most is our break time and sharing meals together, because that was one of the features of our rehearsals every Sunday. And we had a lot of rituals, as communities do, and you go through time, and symbols. And so, I will forever hold on to those, especially the mission of fiercely empowering trans and non-binary voices to love their voices and to use them as agents of change, and also our core values of love, affirmation, and acceptance, I think, are a real hallmark of how to create community for us.
Absolutely. Thank you for those answers. People who sort of make history don't always get to document it in real time. And so this question is for Gail and Jill. At what point were you brought in, and how did the film come together?
Gail, do you want to, or do you want me to?
The simplest answer is that I saw an article in a local newspaper, which was an open call to singers for this new community chorus. And it sounded amazing to me. It clearly was going to be historic. And, I've been making documentaries for about 30 years, and I've been lucky enough to make documentaries that are about human achievement and human expression. And so the idea that this form of human expression, transness, was finally coming into the light after being denigrated and demonized for so long. It is changing, not fast enough, but it's changing. It just really inspired me. And I talked to Jill about it, and we said, we would love to document this. This is historic. It needs to be committed to some kind of documentation.
And we approached Lindsay and Lisa, the co-founders of the chorus, and we approached them at the end of I wouldn't say at the end, but towards the end of 2015. So it was many years ago. But it was after their first rehearsal or their first meeting as a chorus. And so we were kind of collaborating and brainstorming about what to do. And we approached them initially about just coming to shoot and document. And so we started that process in January of 2016. And so basically from January through, May to June, on and off through that summer, and then into the fall, which was the beginning of season 2 for the chorus, we pretty much documented everything. I mean, we covered every rehearsal, almost every performance. Obviously, we covered the UCLA concert, but there were performances after that, and then the portraits with the choristers. So we weren't there from the very beginning. The first rehearsal that you see in the film, someone else shot, and they were kind enough to lend us the footage from that October first
18,
gathering.
18. Yeah.
So, but we were there from almost the beginning, but we were there every rehearsal. I mean, we amassed, I don't know, maybe 80, 90 hours of rehearsal footage alone. And then we had the concert footage from UCLA and performances, and then the portraits. So by the end, we had about 180 hours of material.
Wow. That's amazing. There were so many sublimely personal, tender moments in the film, which definitely underscores like the level of access that you had. With moments like, Rex's pre-op appointment in mind, can you talk about kind of cultivating trust and comfortability with the cast and the members of the chorus?
Sure. So, as I mentioned, we started shooting the rehearsals in January. Rex's surgery came up, I think it was in March. So we'd already been filming, at least we'd been around. And it was just Gail and I, with Gail doing camera, me doing sound. So we were 2 people kind of embedded in that rehearsal room every week. And, we asked the choristers if someone wanted to be filmed to let us know, and Rex was kind enough to say yeah. And by the way, I'm having surgery in a few weeks. We're like, what? So that process, we had several phone calls with Rex, and then of course talked to the doctor and had to get permission to be at the Kaiser facility for shooting. And then of course we met Rex's mom and followed Rex home and all of that. So I think just kind of being around a lot helped.
For sure.
But I think, and Rex was very, not everybody wanted to be filmed. And Rex's story with the surgery, I think, was the only, that was the only surgery story that we filmed. But there were other, people filming people at home and at work, and we had to, some people didn't want to be filmed at home. Some people were more comfortable with us coming to work. And then we had Anne, we were at the comedy club. So things kind of evolved as we continued to film and film. So
that's thank you. Yeah, no, that's great.
Does that all make
no, it's
anything to add, Gail? Anything to add?
Yeah, I think that, again, because I'm a dinosaur and I've been around forever, people want to tell their stories. Everyone has a story to tell, and it's amazing over the course of my career how many people really are willing to tell you their story if they know your intent is pure and that you're trying to share their story with the world. And you have to spend time with people, and you have to be true with people and let them know what you're trying to do. And I think the fact that we spent so much time with the chorus, I actually heard that someone said, I think one rehearsal we had to miss. And I heard later that one of the choristers said, it's just not as exciting without the camera crew there. So that was really touching, because we felt like, okay, we are part of the scene. We're part of the chorus. We're honorary members of the chorus.
Absolutely.
And I want to just put a pin on that. The whole idea of storytelling was the genesis of the chorus from the get-go. And the courageousness of each of these singers to open their mouths and to discover and explore the voices that for many of them had never sung before was remarkable. And so given, the opportunity for Jill and Gail to be in the space and hold space with us was more than special, and really needed, especially in this first year, because everything that was being done was always a first. Even into the second and the third year, everything that the chorus did was always the first, whether it be the first debut concert of a trans chorus in LA, or first time singing in Dodger Stadium, or in the city council downtown LA, or what have you. And so, this is not a small thing, Lauren, to get a group of trans and non-binary people into a space, feel comfortable enough with the group and the community to open their mouths and experience what comes out can be really dysphoric. People spend years in therapy trying to change their voices. People get surgeries to change their voices. And, especially for those folks that identify in the trans femme spectrum who've been through a pubescence that gave them a lower voice, a lower vocal register. This is really big stuff.
I was just going to say, I loved seeing, I think it was Katrick, who was on the mask, who was Mask, but his mom was a vocal coach, and you got to see those moments. And the film really dug into the psychological aspects, and physiological aspects of the hormones that folks are taking. And that was an incredibly illuminating moment for me as a viewer, and obviously a very vulnerable moment, which I think made this film so special. And in terms of storytelling, Lindsay, by its as you're saying, by its very existence, the Trans Chorus of LA makes a bold statement about trans visibility, and specifically trans and non-binary folks existing in their transness versus, passing as cis. And you note this in the film, and I'm wondering if you or anyone else minds expounding on sort of what the chorus and now the film mean for trans visibility.
I'm going to let our composer speak to that. Jordan?
Yeah, I mean, visibility has been part of the mission from the start. And yeah, talking about the, I guess the vulnerability and the risk, I remember signing forms saying we're submitting to being filmed, okay with being filmed from the very start. And so it was a little bit of a risk, we didn't really know what to expect, but we didn't know what to expect for the entire thing. So, we took a risk and trusted Lindsay. And then when Jill and Gail got involved, we trusted them. And I think it worked out. But yeah, I mean, it's, we're not hiding. We're the Trans Chorus of Los Angeles. So, this is always the goal to, express ourselves and be visible and inspire other trans folks to do the same thing.
Amazing. And another question on in the vein of sort of the choices you made to include different aspects in the film. I wanted to hear about the choice to include pre-transition sort of archival footage and photos in the film. If anyone wants to talk about that, or
that was a very, very careful consideration. Along the way, we wound up screening various cuts for colleagues of ours, all cis people, and they all said, we want before and after. We want, we want to know what happened. And I said, well, wait. We're not doing. there's no before and after. It's the same person, okay? It's the same person. So you need to let go of that. There were a few cases where it seemed appropriate to show someone prior to that physical transition. But we were very careful about not feeling that that needed to be done for every single individual who was profiled in the film. It had to be relevant or not. You know, Maggie, more than any of the other folks we filmed, really talks about the person she was. She even names him. And so it felt appropriate to show some footage of her as a heavy metal singer. With other people, it wasn't relevant to their story. You want to add to that, Jill?
Yeah, no, I'll just add, it really came down to the story and the chorister. In the case of Rex, it was, important. Rex talks about how they were feeling before, and so that seemed like a natural thing to want to see what Rex looked like. And Gail mentioned Maggie May, and then of course Lindsay. I mean, as Gail said, it only made sense to see someone pre-transition if it was part of the story that they were telling for the film.
Thank you for answering that. So I loved seeing sort of everyone at a carefree beach day in the end credits. What inspired that ending to the film? Or that creative choice?
Well, the beach party was definitely, the beach party was, a wrap part. It did actually happen after the concert. And there was a barbecue and there was other things, but we filmed the beach party, and not everyone could make the beach party, but most people were there. How did it inspire the end? It's interesting. At one point we thought maybe we would end the film with the beginning of season 2 and seeing people audition, because in season 1 there were no auditions. It wasn't an audition chorus, but it just felt really fun and freeing, and it was kind of nice to see everyone not in the rehearsal room, outside enjoying the sun and the ocean. And I think there was just something very freeing about seeing people outside kind of hanging out and having fun.
I just wanted to add that at that point in the filming process, we'd seen so many extraordinary things that this chorus did, that we just felt like we have to film everything they do. There's no issue of not filming them at the beach. Of course we have to film them at the beach. We have to film the chorus everywhere. And, we're so glad we did. And we had a sense that it would be a great cathartic moment after the lead up to the concert.
Well, it's a real victory lap for a trans community to have, the courage to go out onto a beach, or just put it right out there, okay? And, especially for the members of our chorus who, have all the body conscious issues that anybody else in the world has, right? And so, to celebrate, first of all, one's life and one's ability to be in community at one of the chorus members' homes who lives, very close to the ocean, was more than delightful. And I know that for at least a couple of years, it was the annual wrap party. It was the annual tradition for the chorus. And, those are real important rituals for humans to engage in,
For sure. Yes, everyone loves a beach party, and it was really joyful to just see that at the end. Are there any sort of final thoughts that you have about the film that you would like to share with our audience? I would love to hear that from each of you, if whoever wants to share.
I'll go first. I want to thank Outfest for the opportunity to have this film screened. The chorus had the wonderful pleasure of performing for an Outfest Q&A panel with several leaders of the trans community probably 3 years ago during Outfest, and it was a real highlight of the season. And so I just want to extend an awful lot of gratitude to the Outfest board and to all those that are aligned with the festival for this great opportunity.
Does anyone else have any final thoughts? If you
I'll
want
jump in. I want to second what Lindsay says. It's really an honor to have our film screening at Outfest, and our hope for the film is that it furthers the mission of the chorus, which is to get the message out there and start to change the environment. So Outfest is helping us do that, and we're really grateful, really, really grateful.
I guess I'll second that. This film took a long time to make, and so for us, getting it out there is just number one, and we're just beyond thrilled that Outfest is going to screen it. And this is our third festival, but this is a biggie, and this really meant a lot. When we started this, we thought, oh, maybe one day. This project really turned into a labor of love, and it took a long time to get it finished. And once COVID hit, we didn't know what was going to happen. So we're just grateful. We're truly grateful we can finally get the film out there.
Amazing.
Yeah, I just wanted to say thank you as well to Outfest. And the chorus is still going strong in our 5.5 season. It's tricky right now because of COVID. We're doing the best we can over Zoom, which, as you can imagine, is pretty difficult. But yeah, check out the transchorusla.org website, and we're always looking for singers.
Well, thank you to the entire team, Lindsay, Jordan, Gail, and Jill. Thank you so much for participating. Thank you for your beautiful film. Thank you to our Outfest audience for joining us. And also, again, to our staff, donors, and volunteers who are pulling off the amazing feat of an all-digital festival. Thank you, and take care and be safe to all. Bye. Oh,
Thanks, Lauren.
Thank you.
Hey, Lauren.
yes.
We do have a closing ritual.
Oh.
at every Trans Chorus of Los Angeles rehearsal that I led, and it was, and I'll begin with you. Lauren, thank you for everything that you are and do. Gail, thank you for everything that you are and do. Jordan, thank you for everything that you are and do.
Thanks.
And Jill, thank you for everything that you are and do. Everybody out there, thank you all for everything that you are and do.
Thank you, Lindsay. That was beautiful. I receive it
Thank you.
and reflect it. Thank you for everything you are and do.
You're welcome.
Take care, everyone.
Thanks, Lauren.
Have a
Thanks.
good one. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.